guys, it's Gina with YA Fiction Freaks, and I have a review for you today on The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. There's two different covers to these books. There's 4 in the series. There's The Goose Girl, there is Ina Burning, and there is River Secrets and Forestborn. And there are the original covers are like more of just the land kind of thing and kind of a cartoony girl sitting under a tree. And these are the newer covers, which I've heard the people who had started with the older covers wasn't real happy with then having newer covers to, I guess, Forestborn, and so that they don't match and all that stuff. So I was kind of fortunate because I just started out with this cover. I love this cover. Like, this is definitely a fairy tale. And when you look at this book, you can tell that it's a fairy tale. It just looks fairy tale-ish, if that's a word. Here's the 3 of the books. So, overall, I give this book a 3.5 stars. It was a really good fairy tale. If you're in the mood for a fairy tale, it's a really, really good fairy tale. Shannon Hale took an old fairy tale called The Goose Girl and actually made more of a story out of it and kind of what happened to her. I had never heard of the older fairy tale, but but I really enjoyed the story. The only thing, there are a few things that I wasn't real crazy about. As you guys know, if you've seen any of my other videos where I've talked about this, but I am not crazy about talking animals. And one thing in the book, and this is not a spoiler, I wouldn't consider it a spoiler, it kind of tells you on the back of the book here about this, but she actually can communicate with geese, and also there's a horse in the story that she can talk back and forth with, and that wasn't like some of my favorite parts, but there's so much more to the story. The overall real base of the story and the plot I really liked. Also, there's some weird things with the wind that I wasn't real crazy about. But, like I said, overall, the overall plot was really good. These books are called the Books of Bayern. That's the land they go to. But I'm just going to read you the couple lines here. It just says, some people are born with the first word of a language resting on their tongue, though it may take some time before they can taste it. So it's and that's kind of her gift. Like, she understands the language of some animals. But like I said, that's not really, to me, the real plot of the story. So she ends up, again, no spoilers here, but she ends up, her mother feels like she has to send her to Bayern, this other land. She's a princess of her land, and she's sent off to marry the prince of this other land to keep the two lands from not going to war and keeping peace in the country. So, and of course, on her traveling to the other land to meet the prince, all kinds of craziness happens. So it's really good, and this is neat because there's like an overall map of the world. And then I really like this too. There's 3 parts. Like, this is part 2, The Goose Girl. And then every chapter opens up with the fancy little letter like that. And I don't know why. I guess that's the real fiction freak in me. But I really just love little touches like that. The other thing that I really love is when authors actually name their chapters, and if there's a little picture here. They seem to do that with like children's books, but they don't do it with YA fiction, and definitely don't ever do it with adult books. But and I don't know why, because I'm considered an adult and I love when they do little pictures, and definitely name your chapters. I just absolutely love that. Of course, all the Harry Potters do that. And I loved it. I'm actually reading this series right now, and it's considered, it's not YA, it's underneath that, so I guess that's children independent reader, I don't know. But it reminds me a lot of Harry Potter. So if you like Harry Potter, you would like this series. It's the Septimus Heap series. And there are 5 books to it right now. I think that might be it, but I'm not sure if there's going to be more. But they're called the Septimus Heap series, and they are just like Harry Potter as far as they have little pictures in them, and she names the chapter. They're by Angie Sage, and I'm really enjoying them. I'm on book 4, which is called Quest. The first book is called Magic. And she spells magic with a K. That series isn't the same story at all as Harry Potter, but it just reminds me it has wizards, it's magic. It's a whole new world, and lots of different creatures, lots of different words that they use. It's kind of set up in a whole nother world. They're really cool books, and I would definitely say if you loved Harry Potter, you should try them out. So they remind me a lot of Harry Potter books like 1 through 3, those kind of stories. So, and I don't know if it's going to get a little more in-depth and mature like Harry Potter did throughout the series or not. So, but I'm really liking those. But anywho, let's stick with Goose Girl. I want to read you guys this sentence, which I absolutely loved. One thing that I did love about this book is that it is beautifully written. Shannon Hale has such a way of describing things, and you just vividly see it in your mind. And so I want to read this sentence to you. Let's see, and this this is the last sentence or 2 of chapter 12, but this is not going to give you a spoiler. You can still hear this without reading the book. Let me just start here. I wouldn't believe Razzo if he pricked his finger and told me he was bleeding, and your story's almost as crazy as your bedtime tales, but I really do believe you. And here's the beautiful, beautiful part. And when you get tired of And when you get tired of worrying and mourning your horse and trying not to be afraid, tell me and I'll do it for you a while so you can shut your eyes and sleep peaceful. Isn't that sweet? So, and there's a lot of moments in the book like that, and just beautiful. And if you're wanting a fairy, like I said, if you're wanting a fairy tale with a happily ever after ending, you kind of be a little surprised by the ending, but yet happily ever after ending, this is the book for you. So I give it a 3.5. It's a really good book. I'm glad I read it. I'm definitely going to read the rest of the series. The only reason it didn't get a 4 is because even though I really liked the characters and I enjoyed reading this book, when I put the book down, I wasn't dying to get back to it, and I wasn't really thinking about the characters throughout the day. That's the kind of books that I give 4 and 5 twos. A 4 for me is a book that I'm carrying the characters around with me throughout the day, and I'm thinking about them, and I can't wait to get back to the book. A 5 is a book series that I just totally get obsessed with, and I want to get online, look up the author, look up everything, get more in the world, see if anybody's doing a podcast on it. That's a 5. So this would be a 3.4. A 3.5. So I definitely recommend it, and so I hope you guys check it out. And let me know if you've read it. Comment down below and let me know your opinion on it. So this is one of the books on my book challenge. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Happy reading.